Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in again. I'm Dave. Don't make fun of my haircut. And today is Thursday, February 28th. It is 7 days since I began the liver gallbladder flush last week. 6 days since I finished it, and I'm feeling pretty good. Um, the recovery from it wasn't really very significant, but there were a few things that lingered for a few days. I found another video about another liver gallbladder flush by someone else, and one of the viewers commented that they had done the liver gallbladder flush and that it left them gassy for a few days. And I did notice that. That was something that I experienced. It wasn't really smelly, but there was a lot of gas for a few days. And I'm hyperconscious of any feelings in my right side in the area of the liver and the gallbladder. And for a few days there wasn't pain, but there was a void, an absence of pain. The pressure, getting used to that was a little bit strange. And now there are some pains that come and go. I'm beginning to kind of wonder if there's something like the effect of atrophy in the gallbladder. After you've had gallstones for so long, it doesn't function as it should, and when you get rid of the gallbladder, it has to learn to function again. So there's a little bit of it's not really pain, but there's a feeling in that area that comes and goes, and but it's not the pressure that it was. And my liver function seems to be doing a lot better. My problem with my bowels, I have not taken any fiber since a couple of days before that liver gallbladder flush. So we're going on 8 or 9 days since I've taken fiber, and I've had normal bowel movements, and they were not perfectly normal. They're still a little bit on the soft side, but for the most part, it's a big improvement over what it was. So the liver gallbladder flush was the entire process, the prep and all of the stuff you eat, the dietary changes that come along with it were all noticeably beneficial. And I'm feeling pretty good. I went back to work a couple of days later. I had 7 days off, and I worked for 2 days, and this is my second day off. The first 2 days back at work were hard because they had a major breakdown. They were down 2 or 3 days before. It was more than that. It was 4 or 5 days before. It was almost a 2-week outage. I worked 3 days with that machine down, and we were struggling for work to do. And I changed when we went back after my week off for the liver gallbladder flush. We changed from day shift to night shift. So Monday and Tuesday I worked night shift, and while I was gone, they did some work on my machine, and they made some changes to it, and that made it a little extra hard to work on. And after cutting 4 logs up, I had to stop and clean out the blade housing, and when I went to start back up, it would not run in auto. I ended up cutting all night long manually, and that made it extra tedious. Maintenance was busy with the other big machines. They were still having breakdown issues there, so they didn't have a lot of time they could give me, and it was graveyard shift. So the people who really knew how to get into this problem and fix it were not available until day shift, so I had to cut the whole night in manual. Made it hard. And then the next night they got that fixed. It took them most of the day, so the operator was running off and on. He had a lot of downtime that day, and he ended up changing the blade. And so I came into work with a nice fresh brand new blade, and it was cutting like a champ. And I got through half the night, but because they were down so much, there was not a lot of material on the floor. I was right on the edge the press was waiting for me for every billet that I cut. I couldn't cut fast enough. So after lunch, I managed to get enough of a lead in to go get a lunch. They actually had someone come over and relieve me for lunch so they could keep the machine running. And after I came back from lunch, I promptly broke the blade. Had to stop and change it, and I barely had enough time to get it changed and get back up and running. And they kept the press running. And so it took me all night, clear up to the end of the shift, to get enough billets on the floor to keep the press running for the shift change. So it's been a busy day, been a busy week, but the liver gallbladder flush is a success. My other self-improvement needs are still there. Still working on that, but I will keep you posted. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Have a great day.